Alright, this is how to make Hitscan bullets in Gamemaker Studio 2. I won't be wasting any time, let's get straight into it. I've made a player sprite here, an enemy sprite, and a wall sprite. First of all, you want to go ahead and make a player object, so name that obj underscore player, it's just how I name things. First things first, give it the player sprite right here, and we want to make it follow the mouse direction, because that's how you shoot. I'm doing this in GML code, so I'll type that in here. In the step event, make sure it's a step event of course, you want to be changing the image angle, so image angle is equal to point underscore direction x, y, mouse underscore x and mouse underscore y. What this does basically just finds the direction of x to mouse. Really simple. Put the player in the room, run the game. Now you have a player that follows your mouse. Alright, next we want to make the bullet object. So create object, obj bullet. We don't need a sprite for this one. We're going to draw all the stuff in code. Let's get started. First of all, create event, code. We need to have 5 variables. Alright, so first one is draw alpha, set that to 1. Next is check, set that to true. Previous underscore x, set that to x, and duplicate that, and make that y. Last one is can underscore damage, damage is equal to true. Good. Alright, next you got to create a draw event. This is where the majority of our code will be in GML code. Alright, at the start you want to go current x is equal to previous x plus length x 3 and in the direction of image angle. This basically just adds onto the bullet line in that's like, in the direction of the image angle. So if you duplicate this, change this all to y. There we go. Now, this is if check is equal to true. This is basically just checking if we haven't hit a wall or anything yet. So repeat 300. Oh my god, can't type, which is how many times we're going to basically extend this line. How many times we're going to check for a collision on the bullet. Okay, next. var col is equal to collision line with previous x, previous y to current x, current y. Object will be obj enemy. We're checking for collision with enemy first. Whoops. And precise, say true, and not me, also true. Why not? Now let's create that enemy object here. Obj enemy. Add that sprite. Okay, now after you've created the enemy, back in the bullet, just underneath here, you want to check if the collision is not equal to no one. So if you've hit something, set check to false, so I won't check it again. Now, if can damage is equal to true, which is if it can damage, instance destroy col, which will instance destroy what we've collided with, which will be the enemy that we hit with our bullet. And just under the semicolon, you want to type can damage is equal to false. Alright, so next up, just under here, we're going to be checking for the walls. So to do that, we need a wall object, obj wall, I'll call it. Grab the sprite, paste in the wall sprite. And now I think it's time we put some stuff in the room. Okay, now it's done, I'm going back in. Alright, so under here, it's going to be the same kind of collision thing. So just do that, copy paste that line, but instead of saying obj enemy, say obj wall, and same with if col is equal to no one, copy paste that there, chuck that there, go can damage is equal to false, and check is equal to false. Same as up there, but we don't want to instance destroy it, that's the only difference. Alright, now just under here, you want to go if check is equal to false, break. This will stop drawing the line and won't go any further. You also want to say previous underscore x is equal to current underscore x, and previous underscore y is equal to current underscore y. This will set it up for the next one. Alright, so we want to extend the line again. Current x is equal to previous x plus length underscore x 3 and image angle. You can copy paste that and change the stuff to y 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so now we've got to draw the bullet. First things first, we want to decrease the alpha as time goes on. So draw alpha minus equals 0.03. That's like a good value. And draw set alpha. Draw alpha, which is, setting the alpha correctly. And drawing the line, finally, draw a line x, y, current y. Nice. And setting the alpha back to normal. It's just like, good practice. And now we want to check if the bullet's gone, if it's been there for too long. You can do that by just saying if draw alpha is less than or equal to 0, instance destroy, and that'll get rid of the bullet. Helps performance out. Okay, now this is the last thing we need to do. We need to go into the player, go to the step, and make sure we can actually create the bullet when you press the button. So if mouse underscore check underscore button underscore pressed mb underscore left mouse button, as you can probably tell, we need to reference this later. So we have to say var inst is equal to instance create layer x plus length de x, let's say 15 at image angle, and same for the y. You can just copy paste this part. Be careful though not to copy any of the stuff you don't need in there. Very tough not to do that sometimes. All right, that just offsets it, so it'll create it just like not in the middle of the player, but where you're shooting from. Next, the layer. Let's just say instances, which is the default layer in Gamemaker, and the object is of course obj bullet. And the reason why we referenced it, so we can say inst dot image angle is equal to image angle. This will set it to the direction you're pointing it in. And hopefully this should all work now. Oh, would you look at that? You can shoot, and it works. If you shoot the enemy, it disappears. And if you shoot the wall, it works fine. You can't shoot any enemies through the wall. Perfect collision. You can go now if you want. It's done, but just playing with it. Alright, well that's that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this fixed your problem. If you have any questions, message me in the comments, and goodbye.